How's it going, guys? It's your boy Stas here. Happy Saturday. Welcome back to another video. You saw the title. We have 5 oversold stocks to break down, so we might as well just dive right into it. Let's not waste any time. Let's break down the charts, what I'm looking to do, entry, exit points, everything that you need to know about these stocks. So guys, hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. Join my Patreon if you guys want to keep up with my weekly portfolio updates, my trades, investments, my chart breakdowns, and if you want to be a part of my private Discord, that's linked down below, pinned in the comments, or go to stasurfs.com/Patreon. And now let's dive into it. So you guys know the market had a pretty good day on Thursday. Friday, the market was closed, so we're coming off of a short week, and, well, we didn't have that great of a week or that bad of a week either, right? Pretty flat week overall last week for the S&P, for the Qs, and we ended off the week, I guess, with a nice green day on Thursday where the S&P went up over 1%, the Qs went up 2.5%. That's after Wednesday's sell-off, after we got Kevin Warsh's first ever FOMC meeting, which I guess went okay, but the fact that we're now seeing rate hikes on the horizon, potentially by the end of this year, that spooked the market a little bit on Wednesday, but again, Thursday we recovered and a lot of stocks rebounded, but a couple of them are still very oversold, so let's just dive right into it. Number one is IBM. Guys, IBM is getting completely squashed. It had a 5% red day on Thursday, and it's down well over that from the recent highs. We hit $350 back in the beginning of June, just about 3 weeks ago, and now we're trading at $249, down about 30%, from the recent high. And a lot of this has to do with IT consulting weakness. We got some news from Accenture, ticker ACN. You guys probably saw their stock collapse. Consulting firm Accenture cut their fiscal guidance, sparking a massive sell-off across IT services, and this sparked fears that enterprise consulting and cloud migration contracts are slowing industry-wide, right? And a global IBM study recently revealed that 91%, get this, of enterprise executives actually do not fully understand their AI dependencies and feel locked into rigid vendor systems. And analysts noted this lock-in fear could cause clients to postpone large-scale AI deployments, stalling the monetization of IBM's hybrid cloud, right, and Watson X platforms. So that coupled with, again, Accenture falling off a cliff, and by the way, Accenture has been selling off for months, that is causing IBM investors to get spooked, right? And the stock obviously is selling off, but it's not the end of the world. I think, honestly, man, this is overblown. The fact that it's down $100 a share, 30% throughout the first 2.5, 3 weeks of this month, I think it's overblown. So I'm not saying we're going to rebound all the way back to highs. I mean, we could, who knows? All I'm saying is we're due for a relief rally. We're due for a rebound in IBM, in my opinion. And look, it's still a falling knife. Keep that in mind. But if we're able to get some consolidation right around where we are, 240, 250, kind of right by the highs from a couple months ago. You guys can see a couple months ago, weeks ago actually, we were struggling to break through 250, 260, right, 245. If we're able to consolidate and slowly recover back over, the mid 200s, I think IBM is going to be back in play. So I like it. Ticker IBM. I've said it 5 times throughout this video, right? So very interesting setup. I think the sell-off is a little bit overblown. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And Netflix, talk about an overblown sell-off, guys. Netflix is down in a straight line since the last time they reported earnings. The stock was at, 108? That was in the middle of April. Now it's at 78, under 78. We're down $30 a share, or about 28, 30% from that high. And think about it, guys. this company, a lot of the investors, myself included, when I owned the stock back then, I didn't want them to get the WBD deal, right? I didn't want it to happen. And you guys know I own shares. I owned call options a couple months ago. If you guys didn't know, now I'm telling you, I got out of them, made a lot of money, and now I'm like, let me get back in, because the risks of them, overspending on WBD, doing all this and that, right? Those are out the window. We're not going to see them overspend. They're not getting the deal, and the stock's just down 30%. I don't want to say for nothing, but pretty much for nothing. Investors, I don't know why they're selling the stock off. Maybe they got bored of it, tired of it. Maybe the trade played out. They got in, because of the WBD hype. They played the chance that they weren't gonna get the deal. Traders traded that scenario, which I was one of them, right? I was like, okay, I don't think they're going to actually get this deal. There's a lot of hype around it. I think ultimately Paramount's going to get it, blah, blah, blah. We traded that momentum, and now it's just down and out. For what? It doesn't make sense. The story's still there. They're still a cash flow machine. They're still making a ton of money, and the stock's about to take out the lows from before the WBD deal. It's like, make it make sense. So in my opinion, guys, Netflix, I think it's not going to turn around like that. This one, if you buy it, you're going to need patience, right? This is going to take time to play out to start reversing, in my opinion. But if you have time, if you're able to, stock away some money and kind of forget about it, I think Netflix is not a bad choice right now. But me personally, listen, I'm waiting to see if it takes out these lows from February, then I'm back in. If Netflix is able to break through 75, which, guys, it looks like it wants to, I think we'll be going low 70s. Honestly, I think we might be going high 60s. And at that point, guys, it would be a great value. The chart would look terrible. I got to be honest. The chart looks bad. And if it breaks through this descending triangle, it would look worse. But again, it comes back to having time on your side. If you have a couple years to let it ride, buy some shares, I think you're going to be fine on Netflix. Honestly, I think it's a great long-term investment. It's just looking bad in the short term, and it just doesn't make sense. Again, the sell-off here doesn't make sense. It has me scratching my head, right, guys? Number 3, Apple. And you guys might be like, Stas, Apple's not that oversold. Well, I mean, it kind of is beaten up a little bit. It hit 320 a couple weeks ago. It got down to 285, 290. So it did get a little oversold about a week ago. And since the last week has played out, we've slowly been climbing out of the hole. Still oversold, in my opinion. And I think ultimately, man, if this thing breaks through 300, I think Apple, it's almost a no-brainer play back to 315, 320. Simple as that. It's a continuation play. The chart looks great. We just need to see it break through 300. Simple as that, right? And again, at that point, I think we could start making our ways back towards 310, 315, 320. So very simple on Apple, guys. My alert's at 300. Let's see if we're able to get out of that spot, and we'll go from there. CrowdStrike is number 4, which CrowdStrike, you might be like, same with Apple. Stas, it's not that oversold. The stock's up big time over the last couple of months. But in the short term, it is beaten up. We hit 810 right before earnings. We got down to 620. Now we're at 680. And volume's kicking up. We're maintaining these moving averages. The uptrend's holding. And look, we have a 4-for-1 stock split coming up. And we all know, most of us know, that doesn't actually change the value of the business. All it does is, essentially, a 4-for-1 stock split, it's going to cut the stock price. It's going to divide it by 4, wherever it's at. Let's say it's at 600 to keep it simple. It's going to bring the stock price to 150, right? And the shares outstanding are going to get multiplied by 4. So nothing changes fundamentally. The value's not cheaper, quote unquote. It might seem cheaper on paper, but it's not. But I think the 4-for-1 stock split, even though it's not cheaper on paper, it might seem it. Well, it looks cheaper on paper. It's not actually cheaper. I still think it's going to bring in a lot more buying, quite frankly. And I think once they do this 4-for-1 stock split, I see CrowdStrike starting to uptrend again. I mean, it's still uptrending, but I think it's going to start moving up again, in my opinion. What do you guys think? CrowdStrike, definitely one worth watching. And Mercado Libre, I know we haven't talked about it in a while, but their margins are getting pressured. Their cash flow is getting pressure right now, but it's all for the long-term gain of the company, right? They're making investments right now, putting pressure on their cash flow, on their margins, for the long-term benefit of the company. So I bought more Mercado Libre. You guys know I've owned this stock all year. I'm down a little bit on it. I think 8%, something like that. But I bought more after their last earnings in the mid-15s, I believe, 1,530, 40, 50, right in that ballpark. Now the stock's at 1,630, still in a downtrend, by the way. Don't get too excited yet. But I genuinely think it's in an accumulation phase, at least for me. This pullback, it's a great time to accumulate shares because when in doubt, zoom out. The monthly chart looks phenomenal, guys, on Mercado Libre, and they're still growing big time. They're investing for the long term, which I like. I'm all about that, and I think those investments will pay dividends. It's like, yeah, it's weak in the short term, but it's setting up for 2027, 2028, and I think that's where the story really shines here with Mercado Libre. So those are 5 stocks that I'm watching right now, and I don't own any of them except for Mercado Libre, but I'm so close again to getting into all these for trades. Mercado Libre is more so a longer term investment. And a recent winner that we called out, guys, TTWO, man, TTWO took off completely. We called it out, I think, in one of the recent episodes when the stock was at 210, 212. Now it's at 240. This is the company that makes GTA, which is going to be the hottest video game release in a long time. That's coming out on November 29th. And I was telling you guys, when it was at 210, 212, 215, it's not priced in yet. And here we are at 240. And I think now it needs to cool off. I think there could be more upside, but we need to cool off before we get more upside. Either way, TTWO nailed that call out, and I think a lot of these call outs will play out nicely, but not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed, guys. Do your own research. And with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. Join my Patreon if you guys want to keep up with my actual portfolio updates. You guys see all my trades, investments, options moves, literally all this stuff that we do. We post in real time on Patreon. There's also a private Discord. Check it out. Link down below, pinned in the comments, or go to StockSurfS.com/Patreon. And with that being said, I'll see you guys later.